Good morning, everybody. FSC Trucking. Got a slightly different video for you. Might notice doing something a little different, especially if you caught the last video, you'll see what happened. Anyway, got Orwell behind me. Orwell's a real star of the show. 1984 Peterbilt 362 cab over. Behind the noise, all the other trucks idling, you might hear a green APU running. That's keeping me nice and cool in the heat of the summer. It's actually not that hot. It's actually not that hot right now, being it's probably in the 60s, but the sun beating on that roof, it gets hot in there. You know, that's why you don't leave your dog or your kid in your car. The windows rolled up. Got to run the air. But we're not running a Caterpillar engine. He is, and he is, but I'm not. That's the power of the green APU. Runs the heat, runs the air, keeps me comfortable. That makes me happy. If I sleep good in comfort, I'm happy. All right, let's get on with my load here. Load is the broom, part of those interesting little short trucks you see me haul that we take into Denver and a few other places over the years. This load here was an owner-operator that's leased out with our company, Woodmeyer Express, that, well, the way I understand it, he got hurt. So we had to repower the load and get ahead and take it from him. That way we could deliver it for him, because, well, if you get hurt, you can't really drive. So that's the other advantage of being a part of a smaller company, is you can do that kind of thing. And if you got your own authority and you're a single truck operation, what do you do if you get sick or hurt? You wind up in big trouble real quick. So either way, we're pulling a spread axle step deck now, which is very similar yet very different to the one that I have that Chris is redoing. I'll get ahead and show you real quick. This trailer is different from mine. It's made by Manic. You know, they're the ones that got that moose with the wings on it. Kind of an interesting logo for a trailer. But like my trailer, he's got the ramp kit on there. A side box, I didn't open that up, see what's in there, because the tarps are laying right there on the top deck. So I'll probably, these are his chains, so I'll put his chains probably one of the boxes when we're done with the trailer. Get it unloaded, and maybe get a load back, maybe not sure. Either way, I don't know how long it is. It's either probably a 50. Might be a little bigger than 50, I'm not sure. But it has a slidable rear tandem set up there, so where you can bring that axle forward to make it a closed tandem rather than a 10-2 spread axle. But yeah, the big difference is between this one and this is an aluminum combo. It's got a steel frame, aluminum top, aluminum rails, all of that, so it's probably lighter than mine, but nonetheless. Anyway, ain't my trailer, that's his. I haven't pulled a spread axle in a while, and when you're loaded with a spread, especially when you're heavier to the tail, because obviously there's more weight in the back than there is on the front, and you're shifting gears while making a turn, well, the truck don't want to turn, it slows down real quick. They'll throw you when you're floating gears. Some of you guys don't even know what that is. That's shifting with no clutch. That's floating gears. Anybody with a standard shift transmission would know, unless you're you know, a different YouTuber that just does it because it looks cool. That double clutching thing, nobody double clutches today. I know it's a requirement, but no one actually does it. All right, with that, let's get Orwell fired up and get going. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention where we're at. So we're over here at the rest area, just before you get into Iowa. As soon as we leave here, we're gonna get into Dubuque, roll through Dubuque and get down the line. We'll stop at Cedar Rapids, get something to eat down in there, and then keep on going. So, all right, let's kill the green APU. Let's fire up Orwell. Let's get this show on the road. Alrighty, so with the double push of a button, the green APU goes quiet. With a turn of a key and a push of another button, 400 horsepower Caterpillar power comes to life. Now we're getting the truck motivated to get on down the road to get us to Denver. We go deliver that puppy right there. Alrighty, I got the air going to the trailer. Make sure that air is up real nice. We'll go ahead and check it once. We'll go ahead and check it before we roll. Alright, set up the cameras. Let's get motivating down the road. Well, the trailer air is up. Let me go ahead and show you the load we got. So what this is a big snow broom by MB. You see, we haul these in the past. Well, not these actually. We hauled the tractors for these in the past. This is the trailer that goes with it. The tractors like them real short, little stubby things. The reason why those work is it doesn't have an articulating hitch. It has a pivot that goes side to side. But basically, it's a truck and a trailer but the truck actually is just the steering part of it. This is like, it drives like a straight truck basically with two steer axles, but you take them apart, that would fit on trailers to be able to haul. Twin engine, obviously, engine on the tractor part of it, and an engine that runs the whole equipment on the trailer part. That broom will turn sideways, so if you see up on top, you see the lock-in position right there. It locks in for transport, and they spin it out, and they can move and do whatever to it. Also, the axles on the back, they can dog track it, so they can make the trailer or the whole truck walk sideways and stuff. It's really interesting setup how they do it. So add the rear steer, forward steer, the broom, the blowers that go off to the side. It's a pretty cool looking unit, I think so anyway. But yeah, there it is in a nutshell. So I figured I'd showcase it and show it to you since we don't haul these much. But we will when we get our step deck back running. So it'll be either these or the tractors. Now, tractors are much easier to haul and tie down, but there is the breaking apart of the trailer. And steps are probably easier for back hauls. So that might make a difference there. Either way, I figure I'd show it to you real quick to see what we're doing, why we do it the way we do it. All right, so that's someone else's load, like I said. Hope he gets better soon. I'll take good care of his trailer while we're out running it. I'm gonna show you the difference between the different trailers, different loads that we do. A little window into the step deck world of Widmeyer Express and the crap that we do, right? All righty, there you are. All right, let's get ahead and get this show on the road, shall we? Put a little bit of air in the seat. Trailer's already charged. Hit that brake knob. You guys hit that like and subscribe. Let's get at it. Seriously, hit that like and subscribe. We ain't going nowhere till you do. Alrighty, let's go. know if that rear mic picks it up back here, all the noise this trailer makes. It's aluminum deck with only a couple of wooden strips that go lengthwise of it so you can nail boards to it. Otherwise the deck's aluminum. So the chains that are laying on the deck, the slack on the deck, that makes a lot of racket when you hit the bumps. Plus also the ramps and their pockets, they make a lot of noise too. Mine, you heard the ramps, but you didn't hear anything on the wood decks, obviously. I haven't hauled my trailer since this channel started. We're looking forward to it. Looks like the NSF over there is getting ready to go get something done. Canadian National, Illinois Central, locomotive sitting there. And the NSF. Got a load of tankers. Either non-hazardous or empty. Springs are squashed, you can see it. You shove it back now. Yard. I'm assuming it's an interchange yard only in the fact that, or part of what they do there, because they got the Canadian National and the Illinois Central, they're all together, and the BNSF, so maybe they're interchanging right there, I guess. Who knows? About the Canadian National boys going on strike, but I don't know if that's only in Canada or if that's down here too. And if that's the case, and they are striking here in the United States, or will be or won't be, I don't know, but either way, you got to ask yourself the question, why is it allowed that a Canadian company, a foreign company, can own critical infrastructure in the United States? Leave a comment. Typically what we do coming out of Wisconsin, we run over to Madison and then cut down 151. But did my work right. That should have been in the previous video where we did that at night. Thought it'd be interesting doing a night shoot. Big load right there coming out from the left. 4-axle tractor, 4-axle trailer. We only got 3 axles down though on the trailer. Big unit, heavy haul. There's a Deere 200 Seaway. Anyway, you see the sign here, 151 and 61 come together. A little bit, they'll split off again. We'll stay 151 to Cedar Rapids. The Cedar Rapids take 380 to 80, and then 80 over to 76 in Nebraska, drop down into Colorado. Driver in that Malibu gave me a thumbs up, that white car, the Chevy. Good looking Peter car coming the other way. Hill where 151 breaks off to the right here. Used to haul overweight trucks weighing in 86, 87,000 with my 379 Pete back in the day. This hill you'd be grabbing gears on this one. And this curve you can take at speed. When the hill starts in the curve. And up we go. That's gear 12. I just split the bottom. That's a red thumb wheel on the bottom there. Thumb slide. I'm on the bottom half of the highest gear. You got to wind them out. RPM is your friend. We're in 11th now. There's 10. it's not. It's a US route, so they can run the implements on the road. There's 12. I parked at Jake's to bring it down. I didn't mean to, but it brings the engine RPM down a lot faster to match the RPM of the input shaft, output shaft. Gets it done quicker. That's how you float them. Alright, we're going to 13, it's high gear. Yeah, when you're floating gears without, you know, or shifting without a clutch, like I was talking about earlier, if you match the speed of the gear, it's hard to explain, but picture you got input shaft going into the transmission, that's the engine direct, and the output shaft of the transmission coming out. Wide ranges of speeds between all those gears inside the transmission. But if you take the torque out of the transmission, lift off the throttle, locking them gears together. It's really not a gear, it's a slip yoke, but locking them together, you can't, with power put to it, you ain't getting it out of gear. It's pushed in too tight because the torque is transferring through. You won't be able to slide them apart, they're locked together. Once you come off the throttle and loosen that engagement and flop into gear, so to speak, you can pop it out of gear. When the engine RPM comes down, you can then slip it into the next gear real slowly. Once there's no power involved, once the speeds, once the, let's say, shaft A matches shaft B and it's not spinning fast, and it starts to pop in. That's the best diagram I can give you. Of course, that's when you're working the lever itself. When you're running a 13 speed or an 18 speed or a 15 speed, you can also split them with your thumb wheel. They call it a wheel, it's not, it's a switch. You have the front switch you can't see in the front, that's the high and low range. And then 13 speed with the red knob, you can only split the top side. Where the argument about double clutching with me comes from, because I'm like, okay, how do you double clutch with a 13 speed where you're also splitting the gear? Like when I learned how to drive, it was 9 speeds, there's no splitting. Okay, they taught you to double clutch so you get through school. There are YouTubers out there I see that are female, wear real tight skinny jeans, put the camera on them, and they're like, bam, bam with the clutch, bam, bam with the clutch, bam, bam with the clutch. And I'm like, all right, you're skinny and you look good, but that's not how truckers shift. I guess it's good for views though. I mean, it ain't bad on the eyes, but it's hard on the brain. And do that for a trucking career, you will need a knee replacement. But everybody asks, how do I shift with no clutch? Well, that's how. Said, a lot of people out here now are running around with these goofy automatics I think are absolute trash. I get it, a lot of people are not trained in how to do what I do. But if your mind can't be trained to drive a stick shift, I get it. A lot of people are capable of driving a standard transmission, but they do not have the training. They were never taught. But there are also people out there that, simply put, cannot be taught. The brain doesn't work in that manner. And if you are that type of person, I don't think I'll ever be able to teach you cargo securement. Not to like what we do. To add those 2 extra chains to help lock that boom in place so it can't possibly swing. Now, probably would never swing over in normal driving conditions, but how often is normal driving conditions interrupted by abnormal driving conditions where you're avoiding an accident, avoiding something, you'll know what other people are gonna do. So you gotta tie your stuff down for not just normal driving conditions. You gotta tie it down for emergency stops, swerves. God forbid if there is a crash, you don't need your freight coming off your trailer and doing more damage than just the crash by itself. Good morning, everybody. We made it here to Denver. They're gonna unload us with that rotator right there behind me. They gotta set it up. They're gonna pull us forward. So I'm gonna start breaking some of these chains loose, get about half of them off. And once we get that done, then we'll roll forward and start the process of unloading. I guess what they'll do is they'll lift it up. I'll pull out from under it and they'll set it down. They'll hook it to that tractor that came with it. All right, well, here we are. Let's start yanking chains and stop yapping. always thought this was interesting that Denver Airport got its own wrecker. Big old rotator. I guess they do this often enough. It's cheaper just to buy their own rotator and do their own thing. They have to re-rig it. They have a wrecker, but they don't have a very competent wrecker driver that knows much about rigging. He had his cable twisted on the back of the trailer. So the MB rep is up on top fixing it. Then they'll lift it off. The other thing I told him was that trailer's got a dump valve. When you set the brakes, it dumps the suspension. There's a lot of weight on the tail end of that trailer. So I told him you have to have the weight first before I release the brakes. Otherwise it'll fully inflate the airbags, then it'll take the weight off, and it could hyperextend the bag, pop a shock, and blow a bag. I don't want to do that on the guy. The only way I can see to dump it, I can't find a manual release, is to have the brakes set. So like I said, I told him, you have to pull the weight off the trailer first, then I can release the brakes and then pull out. So I explained it to the MB guy, he knows better. So that ought to work out fine. We'll see how it plays out now. Still rigging school up there. The guy on the top is the MB rep. That's not even the wrecker operator. I'm not trying to badmouth nobody, but I find it amazing that the wrecker driver doesn't know what he's doing, but the rep that isn't supposed to have to know what he's doing does know what he's doing. Then again, if you think about it, he's done this before. Probably quite a few times. See how the cables aren't twisted? Adventure, huh? Well, if you guys remember, here's that little tractor that pulls that little trailer. See, it's like a twin steer truck. There's no articulation. It doesn't pivot like a tractor does, but nonetheless it won't fit on the trailer hull, so I'd have to break them apart. But you've seen me haul these before. You see me haul them here. All right, well, we're unloaded. That's good enough for the day. All right, so let's go put our chains away, call dispatch, find out what else is going on, and get old Orwell ready to go, because to be honest, I want to go home and try to get another one. All right, thanks for watching. Let's get after it.